All right, folks, it's the morning after the Bafta nominations are out. I was actually up very early this morning. It was 1:30 my time for the nominations, and well, it's a good thing I didn't actually live record them because the presenters went very, very quickly through the categories, and yeah, the good thing was I was trying to type them out as they were going, but I missed like half of them, and they kept saying they advertised it a few times. They said the full list of nominees because they only do the top 10 categories there, kind of similar to SAG and stuff. Well, you know, because they leave out like the stunt ensemble category and stuff. Anyways, they only do the top 10 categories there, and then they say the full list is online at BAFTA.com. So I'm like, okay, you know, good thing I wasn't recording because, you know, I missed half of them, and I'm like, well, I don't really have too much to say about a lot of these because I don't know how this film did. I don't know how this film did. Was this only in tech or, you know, what, and so on and so forth. And I kept hitting refresh because I'm like, okay, they weren't there right away. So I kept hitting refresh, kept hitting refresh, kept hitting. It was 10 minutes before BAFTA finally got the full list online. So good thing because I would have been stuck there for a while. So yeah, it would have been a disaster. So that's why there's no live reactions to those. Anyway, so with that being said, though, before we actually get into the nominations, quick thing, some kind of little late breaking news here in case this is the first video you watch in the morning and haven't caught up with all the deadline stuff or well, wherever you find your news, I guess. Kevin Hart went on, I think it was Good Morning America, and officially announced he's out as Oscar host. He's not going to do it. And he's, quote, over it and everything. So, yeah, we're going to do without him there at the Oscars. And I haven't seen anything too official yet, but I think the first reaction from the Academy was to put out a statement that, and again, not too official, but pretty much saying that they're going to go without a host this year. So they're going to have, I would guess they go back to the 70s style. I think they did some 60 years in the 60s too, where they would just have, you know, somebody come up after a commercial break and say, okay, here's the next category, you know, here's, you know, presenters are, blah, 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 and all that. Which is fine, you know, and you look at it, a lot of the years at the Oscars, the hosts, you know, they do the monologue at the beginning and all that, and then most of the time when they come out of commercial breaks, it's just the announcer saying, and now to present the award for blah, 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 here is, you know, Kesha or whoever, you know. Anyways, so, yeah, so that's, I think that's okay. I think we can get by there. Okay, so now we'll get into BAFTA here. No huge surprise here that The Favorite topped all films, 12 nominations this morning, including Best Film, Best British Film. It got Yorgos in for Director. I know, dummy on me, I totally forgot about Yorgos in the Director race. And he did miss the Globe, so I guess that's my only defense, but yeah. Anyways, he was a lock for that Director category. I don't know why I didn't put him in my predictions. And it is in for the 3 acting nominations, the 2 supporting and lead. It's in for screenplay, and the rest of them are all tech categories. I think all of these are going to repeat at the Oscars, even though Yorgos did, and he missed DGA. That was another thing I think that kept me from putting him in. And you know, usually as we were kind of talking about yesterday with DGA, there's usually 4 or 3 at least that make it into DGA, and then a couple or one don't at the Oscars, like last year Martin McDonagh and so on and so forth. And I think Yorgos can definitely get in over, you know, both Peter Farrelly and Adam McKay missed out on that director race, so we'll get into the director race here in a bit because they kind of went their own way a little bit with the director race, but yeah, that's another thing here. Anyway, so yeah, so I think we can expect something like the 10, 11 nomination number for The Favorite when we get to the Oscar nominations on the 22nd. Anyway, so what was kind of surprising, though, for me about the nominations in general was actually the next thing, because I was like, well, yeah, The Favorite will probably top it. I was like, well, it's probably Star is Born, or maybe Black Panther could top it. No, we had a 4-way tie for the second most nominations. First Man, Bohemian Rhapsody, Star is Born, and Roma all earned 7 nominations. And I talked about it yesterday. I said, look out for First Man. Boom, it struck back hard today. It did not get in for director for Giselle, did not get Ryan Gosling in for actor, but still Claire Foy is in for supporting actress, and it is in for the adapted screenplay race, so I got those 2 right at least. The rest of the stuff was in the tech categories. You know, it did not get in for score, though, and I've got a beef to pick with Star is Born when we get to that one here in about 30 seconds or so. Bohemian Rhapsody, did not get the film nomination. It is in for British film and for actor for Rami Malek. It is also up for a whole bunch of tech categories. Surprising to me, cinematography and editing. I was really not anticipating that. Especially, well, and I looked at it too. Ace Eddie nominations, they came out for the comedy drama, they split them too, and Bohemian was included there. So, I don't know. Now Bohemian, maybe gets in for that editing category. It'll be a tough call to see. Yeah, that editing category is always a picky, kind of a tricky one to try to predict. So, yeah, we'll see where we go from here at the Oscars. But yeah, the rest of them are all in tech categories. Star is Born, it's in for film, it's in for actor, actress, director, and screenplay. Those are the top 5 categories. It's also in for sound and score. Now, here's the thing. There's no Best Original Song category here at BAFTA. We all know that. But there's really, when you look at the Wikipedia page, IMDb, pretty much everywhere you can for the credits on the film, there was no composer on the film. I mean, there's really, there's some, just all the songs in the soundtrack there. That's it. That's the score, is just the songs. And yet it somehow earned a score nomination. I don't know. That's baffling to me. I don't know why. I don't know how. I mean, I get, yeah, you don't have a song category, and that's on you, BAFTA. You're the ones who elected not to do the sound, or a song category, excuse me. So, they credited Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga, and somebody else with the score nomination there. And it kicked out, First Man. I was like, that should have, First Man actually has an original score, not just a bunch of songs strung together that you call a score. That was ridiculous. So I have that one I'm a little upset at. But, yeah. Otherwise, I think the rest of them I all saw coming. I did see the snub for Sam Elliott coming there in the supporting acting race. We'll get to we're going to have a battle of the Sams at the Oscars. That's going to be fun to talk about here in a little bit, too. And then Roman was the last one we mentioned with 7 nominations. It's in for director and for film, no surprise there. Foreign language film, of course. It's also up for screenplay, and then it got cinematography, editing, and production design. And, yeah, it was also in for production design at the Broadcast Film Critics. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see here with that one. Anyway, so then the other 2 films up for Best Film are Green Book, which was a disappointment, I think, at BAFTA here today. Let's see. I think, actually, in my predictions here, I forget. Did I throw Peter Farrelly out for director, or did I have him in? Oh, I had him in. That's right. Yeah, I had to double check there. Yeah. So that's the first time, really, that Farrelly has missed here. And that's the thing, is he and McKay missed for Vice. And Vice, actually, is another one. It didn't make it in for film, either. The last nominee was BlacKkKlansman, which I really did well here. Comparatively, it actually scored more nominations here than it did at the Globes, and I think at Broadcast Film Critics too. Even though there's more categories that I think it was going to be up for at Broadcast Film Critics Society, it gets and even without actor, it still got in for director. It's in for score. It's in for, hold on, I had these written down. It's in for score, supporting actor, screenplay, director, and film. So yeah, that one I thought they would skip over, since it is, largely an American story and everything. And yeah, not to say that doesn't mean it's automatically out for film for BAFTA, but I just thought they would go elsewhere with, like, Bohemian Rhapsody for sure. What else did I have in there? I had, well, really, yeah, that was it. Otherwise, I got the other 4, so Bohemian Rhapsody was the one I had favored over BlacKkKlansman. Anyway, so, yeah, but going back to Green Book, though, it's only in for supporting actor, lead actor, and screenplay and film, so it only got the 4 there. And we know it's disqualified from the score category at the Oscars, so we know that one's not going to repeat. But I thought, yeah, that was one. It was nominated for score at Broadcast Film Critics, and yeah, so that would really be the only other opportunity, I think, other than if they want to go on a wild bet and go for supporting actress for Linda Cardellini, but that hasn't happened thus far. So that's slightly disappointed there. And then, yeah, BlacKkKlansman, yeah, definitely, I think that was a strong sign for BlacKkKlansman there. For the Best British Film nominations, I did get The Favourite, I did get Bohemian Rhapsody. I forgot Stan and Ollie, yeah, that's one, yeah, Steve Coogan, and he's in for actor too, so that's one, yeah, another one that I didn't think about. The other ones are Beast, McQueen, and You Were Never Really Here, which I did not know You Were Never Really Here qualified for British film, but yeah, that one kind of came out and kind of peaked early, and yeah, it didn't seem like it was going to be, and especially the subject matter of the film and everything too, it didn't seem like it was going to be a huge Oscar player. Okay, so we've got, there's 4 of the directing nominations we already mentioned with Star is Born, Roma, Favourite, and BlacKkKlansman. But that fifth slot actually went to Pavel. Let's see if I can pronounce his name here. Pavlik. I think it's it's spelled with W, but I think it's pronounced with the V there. Pavlikovsky is I think how it's pronounced, something close to that. Who directed Cold War, and Cold War actually did very well here with director. It's in for foreign language film. I've got my list here. It's also in for cinematography and original screenplay. So at the Oscars, I'm thinking really just foreign language film for that one. I think our director race is much more stacked over there, over here, excuse me, than over there. So I don't see, we have seen like, Hanukkah get in for a Moore, Mikhail Hanukkah, and we got, you can go back to Roberto Benigni nominated for Life is Beautiful and stuff like that. But it's not as common these days to get that foreign language director in as well. And I think, if you count Alfonso in there too, yeah. So I think it's really at the Oscars now. Even though I put in the 5 from DGA yesterday, yeah, I think you got to fit. I think you got to fit Yorgos in too. He's one. He missed DGA, but he's still. The film has that very kind of visual style, and very much a director's kind of film, So I can see the director's branch really responding to that and putting Yorgos in. So, and I originally had him in. I just really pulled him out just in favor of Peter Farrelly there. So, yeah, that's gonna be a tough call at the Oscars now because I think Cooper's in, Alfonso's in, and Spike Lee's in. Those 3 can't miss. Again, unless we're going for a Ben Affleck or Catherine Bigelow type snub. And then you get into Yorgos getting that 4th slot. It's just that 5th slot. Is it Adam McKay for Vice? Is it Peter Farrelly, Green Book? Or is it possibly Ryan Coogler for Black Panther? But yeah, we'll have to see. I'll think about how to stew over that one here for the next few days. Okay, so going into Best Actor, this first time we're mentioning Vice here today, which, yeah, I had it in for, let me go back here. I did not have it in for film, and I predicted that McKay would miss for director. So, yeah, this is actually closer to what I thought it would do. I actually had it in only for actor and I think original screenplay for my predictions yesterday. But yeah, Vice actually, other than some of the top categories, they're very top ones for film and director and stuff. Otherwise, it did fairly respectably over here, especially again for a more American-driven biopic, if you will, sort of biopic, I guess. Christian Bale got in for Vice, and we've also got here in the Best Actor category Steve Coogan. We mentioned a little bit. Bradley Cooper's in for Stars Born, and then Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody and Vigo for Green Book. So yeah, I think. 4 of these 5 definitely get in at the Oscars. I think we'll, probably, I think it hurts. Black Klansman still did well here today. I think that reflects less on John David Washington's chances of getting in, and it reflects more on somebody like Ethan Hawke not getting in, and that film, First Reformed, getting nothing over here at BAFTA. And, we have to remember, too, there is some overlap between BAFTA voting and Oscar voting, too, so... I think that's a more of a sign of strength, I think, for John David Washington to miss here. Because, yeah, if Ethan Hawke had gotten this slot, I think that would have made this race much more competitive. But, yeah. Now, with SAG and Globe, John David Washington is definitely better off than Hawke, who's only got the Critics' Choice nomination thus far. Yeah, so that's, and sure, he's got all the Critics' Prizes, but as we see, that's usually one of the less reliable ones to predict the Oscars. So, yeah, I think that 5th slot is, as my voice starts to go here, I don't think it's Steve Coogan. I think it's, or John C. Reilly, for that matter, for Stan and Ollie. I think it's John David Washington. Okay, Best Actress, there was a little bit of a surprise here. Glenn Close is in for The Wife, Olivia Colman for The Favorite, Viola Davis, the surprise for Widows. Then you have Lady Gaga and Melissa McCarthy. Yeah, so those are the 4 there. So, Viola Davis, I'm glad she's in. It's a good role. It's not. I personally wouldn't put her in the top 5 this year. I would, save that for somebody like Olivia Colman, Melissa McCarthy, definitely, and a couple obviously non-nominees like I like Mandela Stenberg and Hate You Give and Rosamund Pike in Private War. I really liked Saoirse Ronan and Mary Queen of Scots. That might be my 5 actually. But where's Emily Blunt? And as we go down further here, Mary Poppins Returns. Even though it's doing very, very well internationally and stuff. It was a bit of a letdown here. It actually got fewer nominations here than it did at the Globes, even with all those tech categories. So, yeah, that was kind of a surprise to me, too. So, Emily Blunt, I do think, with SAG and Globe and Critics' Choice, I think she's probably that fifth slot. I mean, I don't really see if somebody like Yalitza Aparicio had gotten in for actress over Emily Blunt and over Viola Davis in this case, and it was the other four, assuming those other four got in. I think that would have, that maybe would have turned things more toward her side to where, yeah, we do see overlap here, and Roma, did pretty well over here today too. If Yalitza had been one of those that gotten its 8th nomination there, I think maybe that would have turned the tide, and she maybe gets back in over Emily Blunt. But yeah, right now I guess I'll stick with the SAG 5, which includes Emily Blunt here with the other 4. Okay, then we'll get to the Battle of the Sams here in supporting actors. So Mahershala Ali's in for Green Book, no surprise there. Timothée Chalamet, Beautiful Boy, I got. Adam Driver, I got for Black Klansman. Richard E. Grant, I got for Can You Ever Forgive Me. I threw in Jonathan Pryce kind of last minute there, kind of willy-nilly, but it's Sam Rockwell for Vice. Son of a bitch. So now we've got our Battle of the Sams here. Sam Elliott versus Sam Rockwell. Both of them have, having seen the films, very small roles. A few good words of dialogue and a few good scenes, but otherwise the rest of it is going to rely on their star power, I think, on who's going to get in. And when you look at recent history, Sam Rockwell was just won last year for supporting actor. Sam Elliott never been nominated. So that, kind of puts something in the corner of Sam Rockwell. At the same time, Sam Elliott is in A Star Is Born, which is, I think, going to be, more, going to have more nominations than Vice, and I think it's also going to be in contentions for wins in way more categories than Vice is. Yeah, that's the thing. And then when you look at it, too, you've also got Sam Elliott was nominated at SAG and Critics' Choice, whereas and those were the 2 places Sam Rockwell missed, but Elliott missed out here at BAFTA and at Globe. So, it's tit for tat there. So, yeah, we're really going to see a Battle of the Sams here, and I think that director race is definitely going to help us here, because if McKay gets that 5th slot and Peter Farrelly is left out at the Oscars, I think then that shows more of a sign of strength for Vice. Then I think Sam Rockwell gets that spot, and yeah, we definitely know Amy Adams and Christian Bale are getting in the acting races too, and it's also in for screenplay, we're pretty sure. So, yeah, so that would definitely show signs for Vice there, and it is kind of like we mentioned here, kind of hitting a little late in the game. Kind of similar to Big Short last year, which did, end up getting that director nomination for McKay and got the supporting actor nomination for Christian Bale and picture and everything too. But yeah, so that's, we might have to flip a coin to decide if they're gonna go more sentimental with the Sam Elliott stuff, or if they go with the more populist Sam Rockwell. So Battle of the Sams, I love it. Okay, unfortunately, not a lot of love though for the supporting actress race here. Where we do have Amy Adams for Vice. I predicted her to miss. Otherwise, I got the other 4 with Claire Foy for First Man. Margot Robbie got in for Mary Queen of Scots, and both Emma Stone and Rachel Weisz are, of course, there for The Favorite. Is this the end of the line for Regina King? For the Oscar win, it's going to be very difficult now. Extremely, extremely difficult. Regina might be done for that Oscar win now. Even though her Globe win, yes, I had predicted it, and really good speech, too. I think her speech is definitely one that people are talking about. Then again, everybody said the same thing about Sylvester Stallone a few years ago. He missed out at the same places that Regina has. And, Beale Street overall over here, too, only got 2 nominations for Adapted Screenplay and for Score. It even missed for Cinematography and of course, Supporting Actress. And, geez, I don't know. Beale Street might, I think Regina still gets in, but man, I mean, that's a tough blow, I think, for him. So, yeah, I think Margot Robbie, yeah, she's the expendable one here. And, yeah, for me personally, I did not like that performance. So, yeah, if she misses out at the Oscars, I'm no trouble for me on that one. Anyways, but yeah, so that leaves, Amy Adams, I think, she's got a wide open opportunity now to take that supporting actress race. She's definitely going to have SAG, the win there, unless, yeah, because I think The Favorite... that's the thing, though. I don't know. I think The Favorite, it's got 3 nominations at SAG. I think it can, SAG is a few weeks away, but I'm thinking Olivia Colman actually has a shot to take down Glenn Close at SAG, potentially. If they really want to give The Favorite something and the 2 supporting actress nominations cancel each other out, and that leaves Amy Adams open to take it. But I'll tell you what, if Amy misses the SAG win and it goes to somebody like Rachel Weisz for whatever reason, if they do pick her over Emma, I can see Rachel then, she hasn't missed anywhere. Neither has Emma, and neither has Amy thus far. Uh, I think Rachel then can sneak behind, and she can easily win BAFTA off of that momentum, and then she can win the Oscar off of that easily. So, yeah, so we might actually see Rachel Weisz all of a sudden come back into this race and take it. I think she is now emerging behind Amy as the one to look out for. And obviously, Regina, I think if she wins a Critics' Choice here this Sunday, that's another bullet in her chamber there, or whatever you want to call it. That's another point in her corner. You'd have to pull the Marcia Gay Harden and win the Oscar off of that. But and we'll see maybe if Beale Street suddenly bounces back at Oscars and gets into Best Picture, gets one of those slots away from like First Man or something, and gets in somehow, out of nowhere. Let's say Barry Jenkins gets in for director, or I don't know. It'd have to do, or get maybe one or two additional nominations in the tech category or something. If that all of a sudden comes on strong off of Oscar nominations, then this race then becomes that much more interesting. So we're really going to have to keep an eye on that supporting actress race here over the next few weeks. Okay, for the original screenplay category, I did have 4 of these 5. Bohemian I had in as well to get nominated, but that missed in favor of Cold War. Then the rest of them were in with Green Book, Roma, Favorite, and Vice. So I think, nothing way too surprising there, I guess, except for, the Cold War. They just really liked it. I went 5 for 5 on adapted screenplay, though. I got Stars Born, Black Klansman, Can You Ever Forgive Me, First Man, and Beale Street, so good on me for that one. And I always forget they only have 3 nominations over here for animated feature, so technically I went 3 for 3, but I put on the 2 extra just in case. It's Incredibles 2, Isle of Dogs, and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and I can see BAFTA following suit. I think Spider-Man is going to start, after the Globe win and stuff. I think that one's going to start carrying the day for that. Okay, real quick foreign language film. It's Capernaum, Cold War, Dogman, Roma, and Shoplifters. I didn't have official predictions for that. So the rest of these we'll just kind of go through really quick. Just kind of do some highlights here and there. Cinematography, like we mentioned, Bohemian Rhapsody's in there. That was a surprise for me, at least. Cold War's in there. First Man, Roma, and The Favorite. I definitely think First Man, Roma, and The Favorite are definitely in the conversation for the Oscar nominations. Cold War can sneak in there. I have Black Panther nominated at the Oscars. Let me think. Anybody else? See, I guess I can pull up my current predictions here for the rest of these tech categories to kind of show where we might see some overlap or where we kind of, see the disagreements there too, I guess. All right, just a second here. I'll have it. Let's see. Oh, I have Beale Street also in there for cinematography. So my 5 right now for cinematography are Roma at the Oscars. Roma, First Man, Beale Street, Favorite, and Black Panther. Cold War is one, kind of like Ida got in for cinematography a few years ago. That one I can see happening. That's been very much claimed for its cinematography. Stars Born missed out here for cinematography too. And it also missed out for editing. So yeah, actually Stars Born might not win BAFTA. They might just go with The Favorite all the way through here. I don't know if it can sweep 11, but it definitely can't be, or 12 technically. It can't because of the supporting actress thing, because they're not going to tie. But it can walk away with maybe something like 6 or 7 wins potentially at BAFTA if they really, really go for it. But anyways, I think Roma can't miss. First Man's a pretty good bet. The Favorite I think is in for sure. Those are the 3 for sure bets. I can see Stars Born getting in there. I can see Cold War being the 5. But Black Panther, it's Rachel Morrison. They really, really, I think, would like to get another female cinematographer in there, even if it is the same one as last year. So I think that's why Black Panther, like we mentioned, we'll get to the lack of nominations here at BAFTA here in a little bit, but not to bury the lead there, but we'll get to some of the stuff that missed here too. I'm thinking Black Panther will obviously, I think, do better here at the Oscars than it will at BAFTA, than it did at BAFTA, I should say. But I think cinematography is one I think we'll all sleep on, and it'll still get that nom. It's just if you want to kick out Cold War, if you want to kick out Beale Street, if you want to kick out Stars Born, whoever to get that 5th slot. But Anyways, moving on. Film editing. Big surprise for me here was seeing Bohemian Rhapsody get in. Wow. Then First Man, Roma, The Favorite, and Vice. I can see a scenario here where Bohemian, gets a few of these tech categories over here at BAFTA, but then only ends up with like costumes, actor and picture at the Oscars, something like that, something weird like that. Yeah, so let's see, who did I have? I think at the Oscars I have Roma, I have The Favorite, I have or no, I kicked out The Favorite, that's right. Who do I have in for editing now, actually? I've got Star is Born in there, I have Roma, First Man, Black Klansman, and Vice right now. The Favorite, I think, yeah, that one's probably just going to go right through the tech categories with the nomination branch here. So that one I'll kick out. I don't know. I guess, yeah, First Man's doing very well here, so I'm going to kick out Black Klansman in favor of the Favorite there. But yeah, another one we might maybe be sleeping out is Black Panther in that film editing category, but we'll see. Okay, then the design categories, production design up first. Fantastic Beasts is in here with Crimes of Grindelwald. First Man is in here. Mary Poppins Returns, first nomination for that one. Roma in The Favorite. Yeah, I think it'll be much of the same over here at the Oscars. I think 4 of those 5 I have in, except for 3, I think. Because I don't have Roma in. Who are my other ones? Black Panther. And I have Mary Queen of Scots in right now. But, yeah, I don't see... a few people are saying Star is Born. Why? It's not a production design movie. I can see Roma filling in for that slot, but... it's not really an in-your-face production design movie the same way The Favorite is, the same way, in some respects, First Man is, and definitely Mary Poppins Black Panther there. Okay, costume design, a little bit of surprise here to see Ballad of Buster Scruggs in there. Yeah, I don't know, that one has been so on and off this year, I just don't know if I can bet on it to get anything at the Oscars. Also in for costumes is Bohemian Rhapsody, Mary Poppins Returns, Mary Queen of Scots, and The Favorite. I think the other 4 there are sure bets. I think Black Panther gets that 5th slot, so yeah, not much to talk about there. Original score, yeah, we talked about it. Star is Born, for whatever goddamn reason. Black Klansman is in there. Yeah, this score is pretty good. Beale Street, Isle of Dogs, and Mary Poppins Returns. Yeah, I think Isle of Dogs for sure. I think Mary Poppins for sure. Beale Street for sure. Yeah, obviously, I think Star is Born is not going to qualify for that score category. It wasn't in the short list, I don't think. So that one's clearly not going to make it. First Man's got to be in there. And I think Black Panther gets that 5th slot for, oh, shoot, I forgot his name now. Ludwig Göransson, yeah. I think he gets in. Makeup and hairstyling. Remember, there's 5 nominees over here. We'll only have 3 at the Oscars. Bohemian Rhapsody, Mary Queen of Scots, Stan and Ollie, The Favorite, and Vice. And actually, let me pull up, I forgot. Did all of those make the short list except for The Favorite? Yeah, The Favorite was not in the short list, but the other 4 are all there. Vice, Queen of Scots, Bohemian Rhapsody, and Stan and Ollie. Right now I have Stan and Ollie in just because I think they'll want to give that something. I have Mary Queen of Scots in there, and I have Vice. Yeah, so I know Black Panther's a pretty favorite over here at the Oscars. I don't see Bohemian getting it for, it's not a ton, I mean, it's not like, it's not like it's a non-player for this, but I think I think they'll skip over it at the Oscars, personally. The sound category, we've got Quiet Place, Star is Born, Bohemian Rhapsody, First Man, and Mission Impossible Fallout. Good to see that got a nomination. Remember, it's only one sound category over here. I think all of those are going to be in contention, I think, for sure. I've got Quiet Place in both the sound categories. I've got Star is Born in sound mixing. I don't have Bohemian Rhapsody in for anything, but that could easily fall into sound mixing. I have First Man in both categories. I have Mission Impossible in sound editing. Let's see. I think I've got... what else do I have for the sound category there? For mixing, I forget. We'll get into some updated Oscar predictions, I think, in a little bit here, but in a different video. I mean, not today, but yeah. The visual effects category, we have Avengers: Infinity War, Black Panther, only nomination I got. Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald, The First Man, and Ready Player One. I think 4 of those 5 for sure we'll see at the Oscars. Actually, I don't think, did Crimes of Grindelwald, I think that one missed the shortlist. Yeah, that one's definitely out. I think I have Mary Poppins in that 5th slot right now, but yeah, I don't know what else to put in that slot. I mean, I don't see Solo making it in. Definitely not Welcome to Marwen. No. That movie was not good. But anyways, so, yeah, so I guess the big news here is what happened with Black Panther. I mean, I predicted it to miss out on, like, film and director, and it was not going to get any acting nominations, not screenplay. I knew that. Or I predicted it, at least. Had a feeling about that. But I thought for sure would light it up in the tech categories here. Like, I thought cinematography, or maybe not cinematography, but production design couldn't miss, costume design couldn't miss. We knew visual effects couldn't miss, but the song score category especially, I was like, oh, it can't miss in those. And, I thought maybe the least it would get was 5, but no, it's just down to 1. Wow, wow. And I looked at it already. We're seeing a few. Well, I'll say it. A few non-superhero fans that really don't want to see Black Panther get in for picture. A few of them are already shouting, "Oh, it's the Dark Knight all over again." It's not going to happen, guys. Well, you look at it. Dark Knight, even though it missed out for picture and stuff and director and all that, it got 9 nominations at Bafta. So I think this is just a case of Black Klansman or Black Klansman, sorry, Black Panther just being a much bigger thing here in the U.S. It's definitely more of a cultural statement here in the U.S. Versus in the U.K. So that I think definitely helps it at least get the nomination for Best Picture. I really don't see it missing, especially after everything that's happened so far. And I think Black Panther is also going to continue to do very well at the Guilds. It's really, I don't think it's missed out on a single Guild yet, except maybe that Ace Eddie one. Actually, hold on, let me. I guess I can double check to see if it was in for that Ace Eddie. I thought I saw it on the list there, but yeah, we'll see here. I wanted to really quickly double check that. Unless it's, well, this is the Wikipedia page. They might, okay, they've got like Art Directors Guild and stuff like that, so I don't see Ace Eddie on here, at least, not yet, but yeah. So yeah, it might have missed that Ace Eddie one, but anyways, it's still, I think it's definitely one that's gonna still play over here at Oscar. I don't think it's game over for Black Panther in any way. So yeah, we mentioned a few of the other includes and kind of surprises there, like Viola Davis and stuff, and easily, yeah, Cold War and Stan and Ollie. Yeah, then we mentioned both McKay and Fairley missed for director. Yeah, that we mentioned director race is going to be tricky. Yeah, we mentioned Emily Blunt. We mentioned Regina King. We mentioned Sam Elliott instead of Sam Rockwell and all that. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, as far as we kind of touched on it really quickly there. As far as who's going to win these awards, I think this easily, with Star is Born out for editing and out for like cinematography and a few of those other tech categories, I don't think that means it's game over for that best film win for over here at BAFTA. But I mean, the favorite didn't miss a single thing. I think the favorite easily is going to win film. I don't see it. I think I'll go Cuarón for director probably. Even if Spike Lee starts winning stuff, I don't see him lining up for Spike Lee. And then it'll probably take. It could take, yeah, if Rachel Weisz comes through, it could easily take that supporting actress one if Amy Adams doesn't, build some momentum there. And then it can take, I think it can take screenplay. Yeah, it'll be that or Green Book probably. And then, yeah, the tech categories, yeah, I can easily see it winning like costume design, production design. I don't think editing, I don't quite think cinematography. I think they'll save that for Roma as well. It might take makeup, maybe. If they don't want to go with something like Vice, I think Vice is the clear front runner at the Oscars, and that's helping me stick with Christian Bale for actor because we saw that lineup last year with Darkest Hour. Yeah, I think it'll win British film too. Yeah, so yeah, it would also, we looked at this last year, after Three Billboards did so well over here, and we said, the last time that a film had missed when it won Best British Film and Best Film overall at BAFTA was like going back to the 60s or something. I can see Three Billboards, what it did last year, repeating here at BAFTA, where it wins. Well, they could give Bohemian Rhapsody British film too, especially since it's not up for film. And if they want to go, I think they'll probably give Rami Best Actor over here too. Yeah, I can see, and Christian Bale I think can still win Best Actor without the BAFTA win, but it's definitely he's going to have to really nail it. He's going to have to win SAG, and he's going to have to win Critics' Choice before that though. If he's gonna win that Oscar, so yeah, I guess that's really all I have to say on this. I mean, a lot of films just have the one nomination, like Beautiful Boy and The Wife and Widows and all of the animated films except for Isle of Dogs and stuff like that. So and Black Panther, yeah, really surprising that one just did not make it for a lot of those tech categories. Pretty much none of them except for visual effects. All right. That's really all I've got for now. We'll do an updated predictions and final predictions on Critics' Choice. I will get to that probably sooner rather than later. And Critics' Choice, I'm actually going to be back up at the old place there after the Critics' Choice Awards are handed out. So we'll, you'll say goodbye to this spot for a while, and we'll take care of the rest of that stuff as it occurs. So Yep, that's it for BAFTA here, and we'll keep plugging along through the Oscar race.